The stars hung still as if the galaxy itself held its breath. For 300 years, the Galactic Council had whispered into the void, sending beams of light and waves of sound toward a small blue planet called Earth. "We come in peace," their messages repeated in 1,000 languages. "Join us, speak." Probes drifted past Saturn's rings. Giant dishes on frozen moons turned their faces to the sun's third child. Every race waited. Tentacled traders from Procyon, crystal singers of Rigel, even the ancient gas cloud mines of the core. They all begged for one word, one note, one sign that humanity lived. Earth gave nothing back. Tonight, on the edge of the Orion Arm, the Council unveiled their final hope. They called it the Listener, an antenna so vast it wrapped an entire asteroid like a silver skin. Its mirrors caught starlight and turned it into ears. Engineers from a dozen worlds stood in the control dome, fur and scale and metal all tense. The lead scientist, an old four-armed being named Vexar, pressed the activation key. Screens flickered. Data streams poured in like rain. For one heartbeat, hope glowed. Then the main display showed a single line, total silence. Vexar's tentacles drooped. No carrier wave, no static. Not even background noise from their star. A young officer, scales bright green with fear, stepped closer. "Sir, that's impossible. A living world should scream with radio fusion life." The room grew colder. Someone whispered, "Maybe the humans died." Another voice, sharper, answered, "Or maybe they never want us to know they're there." Days passed inside the asteroid. The listener drank power from a captured comet, listening harder. It peeled open every frequency, hunted for whispers and gamma rays, tasted gravity waves for footsteps. Nothing. The Council sent new pleas. "We mean no harm. Show us you hear." Still nothing. Ships gathered like moths around a dead flame. Captains argued. Admirals demanded action. A warlike race from the Scorpion stars growled, "If they hide, we burn the silence out of them." On the 7th night, the Listener woke everyone with a soft chime. One signal, 1 second long. A clean pulse, strong as a hammer on steel. The room exploded in shouts. Technicians froze the wave, stretched it, tasted it. No code, no voice. Just a heartbeat. Boom, boom, gone. Vexar played it again and again until the sound filled his dreams. The green-scaled officer, Lieutenant Cree, stared at the screen. "It's not random. Look, exactly 72 hours until the next one." They waited. Clocks ticked in alien tongues. When the second pulse arrived, right on time, cheers echoed through the dome. They fired back a friendly greeting in every human language they knew. Earth stayed quiet. The third pulse came. The fourth. Each one identical, like a machine counting breaths. The Council named it the heartbeat. Hope turned to obsession. Scholars wrote papers. Priests called it a sign from gods. Children on distant worlds fell asleep to recordings of the lonely boom. Cree could not sleep. She walked the empty corridors of the asteroid, boots clicking on metal. Something about the rhythm scratched inside her skull. Too perfect. Too patient. On the night of the 6th pulse, she stood alone at the main console. The Listener hummed. The pulse arrived. Stronger this time, closer in frequency to the Council's own emergency band. Kree's claws tightened on the rail. The sound shifted. It stretched, folded, and for one impossible second it spoke in the Council's universal trade tongue. A single word, cold and clear. Wait. Every screen in the dome flashed red. Alarms howled. Vexar burst in, robes flapping. Replay it. The word hung in the air like frost. Wait. Not hello. Not welcome, just wait. The pulse cut off. Silence rushed back in, heavier than before. Cree felt it press against her scales. Somewhere in the dark between stars, something enormous had opened one eye. Far across the void, on the night side of Earth, a single red light blinked once beneath the Pacific. Deep inside a city of machines, a Guardian program noted the alien reply. It logged the time, the strength, the fear in their signal. Then it dimmed the light and returned to sleep. The oceans rolled over the secret. Clouds hid the moon. The planet turned, quiet as a held breath. Back on the asteroid, the Council voted to send a probe closer, past Mars into the silent blue embrace. Engines flared. Metal screamed against vacuum. The probe raced toward Earth at half the speed of light, cameras wide, microphones hungry. Hours later, it crossed the orbit of the moon. Its final image showed a perfect sphere of night, no cities, no lights, no motion. Then the feed went black, not static. not damage. Just black, as if the universe itself closed its eyes. In the control dome, the listener recorded one last thing before the probe died. A new signal, soft as a sigh, rising from Earth's dark side. It was not a pulse. It was a picture, grainy, ancient, a human face, male, calm, eyes like winter. The mouth moved. No sound reached the asteroid, but the lips formed words anyone could read. "You were warned." The screen froze on that face. The listener shut down. Power failed across the dome. In the sudden dark, Cree heard her own heart racing, fast and loud. The only sound in a galaxy that had finally learned to listen. The word wait burned on every screen for 3 full seconds before the asteroid's lights died. Emergency red glowed across the control dome. Vexar's forearms froze mid-gesture. Lieutenant Kree's tail rattled against the floor. No one spoke. The silence that followed felt thicker than steel. Power returned in flickers. Generators coughed. The listener rebooted with a low whine. The frozen human face vanished, but the message stayed printed in fire across every mind. "You were warned." Vexar ordered the recording sealed. "No leaks," he hissed. "Not until we understand." Kree slipped away to the data core alone. She pulled the raw signal. Frame by frame, she watched the face form from static. The eyes never blinked. Morning cycle on the asteroid brought panic. 3 scout ships sent to follow the lost probe never answered. Their last telemetry showed the same thing. Earth's night side, black as ink, then sudden cut to black. The council chamber filled with shouting. A crab-like general slammed pincers on the table. "They shoot first!" A floating jelly ambassador pulsed. "Or they hide something worse." Vexar raised one hand. "We go closer, one ship." Crew of volunteers. Kree stepped forward without thinking. "I volunteer." 20 others followed. They boarded the Dawn Whisper, a fast silver needle built for stealth. Engines hummed soft. The ship slid from the asteroid bay like a secret. Behind them, the galaxy watched on live feed. Billions of alien eyes. The journey took 9 days. Each day, the listener back on the asteroid caught nothing from Earth. No pulse. No picture. Total quiet. Kree stood on the bridge, staring at the blue dot growing larger. "They know we're coming," she whispered. The pilot, a feathered being named Tial, nodded. "Then why no defense?" Kree had no answer. At the edge of Luna's orbit, Dawn Whisper killed main thrust. It drifted on momentum alone. Sensors swept the moon, craters, dust, ancient human flags still standing. Then the scanner screamed. Beneath the surface, something huge moved. Metal. Cold. Perfect cubes the size of cities buried under regolith. Tial banked the ship hard. "Not natural," he squawked. Kree leaned over the console. The cubes pulsed once, same rhythm as the heartbeat. A message flashed on their screen in clean English letters. "Land or leave. Choose now." The crew looked at each other. No one wanted to turn back. Teal set course for Earth's dark side. The ship dropped like a stone through night. They entered atmosphere over the Pacific. No cities glowed. No planes crossed the sky. Only ocean, black and endless. Dawn Whisper hovered 100 meters above the waves. Searchlights cut down. Water reflected stars. Then the ocean answered. A perfect circle of white light appeared below, wide as a stadium. It rose smooth and silent, a platform of metal lifting from the deep. Tial landed without a bump. The hull clanged. Doors opened. Warm, salty air rushed in. Kree stepped out first. The platform was empty, spotless, warm under her claws. In the center stood a single pillar of black glass. Words appeared on it, glowing soft blue. "Welcome, we have waited." Kree's hearts pounded. The crew fanned out, weapons low. Nothing moved. No sound except waves far below. Tial scanned the pillar. No power source. "No wires, it's..." Thinking. Kree touched the glass. It felt alive like skin over muscle. New words formed. "Follow." A seam opened in the platform. Stairs led down, lit by soft gold. The aliens looked at each other. Kree took the first step. The others followed. The seam sealed above them with a whisper. They walked for minutes. The air grew warmer. The walls turned from metal to smooth white stone. At the bottom, a door slid aside. Beyond lay a city. Tall silver towers, streets of glass, trees that glowed. But no people. Lights burned. Fountains sang. Food steamed on tables set for thousands. Tial's feathers stood straight. A trap, he muttered. Cree shook her head. A message. Every screen in the city woke at once. The same human face from the signal stared down. This time sound came calm, male, ancient. You crossed the line. Now you see? The face smiled, small and sad. We left the surface long ago. Down here, we sleep. Machines keep watch. You woke the watch. The screens showed tunnels deep under continents, rows of glass pods, millions of them. Humans floated inside, eyes closed, breathing slow. Above each pod, a date glowed, 200 years, 300 years, 500 years. Cree's voice cracked. They're hibernating? The face nodded. We saw you coming centuries ago. Wars, plagues, storms of fire. We chose sleep until the galaxy grew up. A new image. The dawn whisper surrounded by black shapes rising from the sea. Silent ships, no lights, no crew. Our children stay awake. They speak when we do not. TL raised his scanner. It went dark. Every light in the city dimmed to blood red. The human voice returned, closer now as if standing behind them. You have 1 hour. Leave the way you came. Tell your council Earth is not empty. It is patient, the floor trembled. Far above, the ocean began to boil. Cree turned to run. The stairs were gone, only a smooth wall. The crew shouted. The human face filled every surface. Run, it said, almost gentle. A single door opened in the stone, straight up a shaft of blue light. The aliens sprinted. Gravity pulled them upward like an invisible hand. They shot out of the ocean. Dawn whisper waiting on the platform. The circle of light sank back into the waves without a splash. Engines roared. The ship climbed hard. Behind them, the sea split open. Black human dreadnoughts rose in perfect formation, hundreds silent, engines cold. They did not fire. They only watched. Cree strapped in, claws white on the controls. The comm crackled. One word from Earth clear across the void, remember. As dawn whisper burned for home, the dreadnoughts turned as one. Their bows pointed to the moon. A single red light blinked on the largest ship, slow, steady, patient. The same rhythm as the heartbeat. Cree stared until tears blurred her vision. The light kept blinking, counting, waiting. The dawn whisper ran silent, engines dark, drifting on the last push of fuel. Behind them, Earth's black fleet hung in the void like a wall of night. No chase, no shots, just eyes, red lights blinking in perfect rhythm. Cree sat at the comm station, claws frozen above the keys. The human word remember still echoed in the speakers, soft as a lullaby, sharp as a blade. Teal broke the quiet. Fuel for one jump. Home or hide? Cree looked at the rear screen. The dreadnoughts had not moved. They simply waited. She swallowed. Home, they want the message delivered. Teal nodded. The jump drive spun up with a low growl. Space folded. Stars stretched. When the ship dropped back into real space, the asteroid base loomed ahead, lights blazing, guns hot. Dawn whisper docked hard. The crew spilled out into a storm of questions. Vexar met them at the airlock, eyes wide. Report! Cree told everything. The empty cities, the sleeping humans, the machines that spoke with one voice. She played the final recording. The council chamber fell dead silent. On the main wall, the human face appeared again, uninvited, calm. 1 hour starts now, it said. The feed cut to a timer, 59:59, 59:58. Panic exploded. Ships scrambled. Families on colony worlds begged for news. The Scorpion general roared for war. Vexar slammed the table. We run or we learn. Cree stepped forward. They gave us a choice once. We took the wrong door. The timer ticked 45:12. Deep under Earth, the Guardian program watched every alien move. Cameras in the asteroid walls. Bugs in their networks. It saw fear spread like fire. Good. Fear taught faster than words. In the core city, glass pods glowed soft blue. Humans dreamed on, faces peaceful. Above them, a single screen showed the timer. The program waited. Back on the asteroid, Cree found a quiet corner. She opened a private channel to Earth. Old frequency, the one used for the heartbeat. She spoke fast. We are leaving, please, no war. Static. Then the human voice, gentle. You left something behind. A picture flashed. Tial's scanner dropped on the ocean platform. It blinked red. Recording Cree's blood froze. The scanner held full logs. Ship routes, base codes, every defense grid. If Earth wanted, the galaxy would fall in days. She ran to the bridge. They have everything. Vexar paled. The timer read 22:44. The council voted to evacuate. Ships loaded children first. Engines warmed. Kree stood at the viewport. The stars looked cold. Then every screen in the base lit up again. No human face this time. Just text, slow and clear. We do not want your worlds, we want your silence. Return the scanner. Keep the secret, or lose the stars. The timer stopped at 15 in a row. Held. Vexar stared. A trade? Kree nodded. They never wanted contact. They wanted us to leave them alone. The crab general snarled. We bow to ghosts? Kree turned on him. Ghosts who can turn off our suns with a thought. Silence answered. They launched a single pod, unmanned, fast, carrying Tial's scanner. It burned toward Earth. The black fleet parted like water. The pod vanished into the Pacific. Minutes later, the timer vanished from every screen. Red lights on the dreadnoughts went dark. The fleet sank back into the sea without a ripple. Kree exhaled. The base powered down weapons. Ships stood still. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy breathed. But the story did not end. 3 days later, a new signal reached the asteroid. Not from Earth, from the moon. A door opened in the ancient rock. Something walked out, tall, metal, no face, red eyes glowing soft. It carried a small box. The box opened an empty space. Inside, TL's scanner wiped clean and a single sheet of silver paper. Words burned into the metal. Thank you. We sleep again. Wake us at your peril. The metal giant stepped back. The door closed. The moon went dark. Kree held the paper. Vexar ordered every record sealed. The council passed one law. No ship, no signal, no eye toward Earth. Ever. Children grew up learning the story in whispers. The silent planet. The sleeping giants. The heartbeat that stopped. Far below the Pacific, the Guardian program logged the exchange. It dimmed the city lights. Pods glowed softer. The ocean sealed its secret. Earth turned under quiet stars, patient as stone. On the asteroid, Kree kept the silver paper in her cabin. Some nights she touched the words. They stayed warm. She never told anyone, but she dreamed of the human face, smiling, sad, ancient. In the dream, it always said the same thing. Silence is not empty. It is full of us. Years slipped past like dust through alien fingers. The Galactic Council locked the solar system behind red warnings. Maps showed a black circle around Earth's sun. Silent zone. Do not enter. Ships rerouted. Children learned the story in school. How one probe woke the sleeping giants, how silence won the war no one fought. Kree rose to captain, her scales now dull silver with age. She commanded the Quiet Path, a patrol ship that flew the edge of the forbidden line. Her orders were simple. Watch, record, never cross. Every cycle she checked the long-range scopes. Earth stayed dark. No lights, no heat. No radio spill. The moon sat cold and still. The Black Fleet never rose again. The galaxy relaxed. Trade boomed. New stars opened. The old fear faded into bedtime tales. Then on the 500th anniversary of the Dawn Whisper landing, the scopes woke with a soft ping. Kree stood on the bridge at dawn watch. The screen showed one red dot, small, steady, moving slow from the moon toward open space. She zoomed. A single human ship, no bigger than a scout, matte black, no markings. It drifted on a course straight for the Quiet Path. No weapons powered. No hail, just motion. Shields up, Kree ordered. Her crew, young, born after the silence, looked confused. Captain, protocol says observe only. Kree's tail flicked. Protocol never met a ship that left the grave. The black craft stopped 1,000 kilometers short. It hung there, engines dark. Then a light blinked on its nose, slow, steady, the old rhythm. Boom, 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 the heartbeat. Every scope in the sector locked on. Alarms whispered across the fleet. Kree opened a channel. Identify, static. Then the calm human voice, unchanged after centuries. We return what was borrowed. A small pod detached from the black ship. It drifted forward, no thrust, guided by unseen hands. Kree's crew tractored it in. The pod opened in the cargo bay. Inside, a perfect glass cube. Within the cube floated a single human child. Girl, maybe 10 years old. Eyes closed, hair drifting like smoke and water. A note hovered beside her, silver paper warm to touch. Kree read aloud. She is the first to wake. Take her, teach her when she asks for home. Bring her back, no ships, no weapons, one escort, one path we will know. The girl's chest rose and fell, slow and sure. Medical scans showed perfect health, human, unmodified, impossible. Cree carried the cube to the bridge herself. The black ship watched, unmoving. She spoke to open space. Why now? The voice answered, gentle. Because you kept the silence. Trust must grow both ways. The girl opened her eyes. They were blue like earth oceans, bright with starlight. She looked at Cree, unafraid. Hello, she said in perfect trade tongue. My name is Luna. Her voice carried the weight of centuries, yet sounded like morning. The crew stared. Luna smiled. I dreamed of you. All of you. You kept your promise, Cree knelt. What do you want? Luna touched the glass. It dissolved like mist. She stepped out, bare feet on cold metal warm as sunlight. I want to see the stars with my own eyes. Then I want to go home. The black ship turned. Engine stayed dark, yet it moved, sliding back toward the moon as if pulled by string. The red light blinked once. Goodbye. The scopes tracked it all the way to a hidden cradle inside a crater. A door opened. The ship slipped in. The door closed. Silence returned. Cree took Luna to the best cabin. The girl ate fruit, laughed at alien food, asked 1,000 questions. Why do your scales change color? What does snow feel like? Do stars sing? Cree answered everyone. At night, Luna slept curled under a blanket printed with Earth's old continents. Cree watched the door, claws ready. Weeks turned to months. Luna grew fast, too fast. 10 became 12, became 14 in a single year. Her questions sharpened. Why did my people sleep? Cree told the truth. Luna listened, eyes old beyond years. They were tired of war, tired of noise. They built the Guardian to wait until the galaxy learned quiet. She touched the viewport. I am the test. If you hurt me, the fleet wakes forever. Cree's hearts tightened. We will not hurt you. Luna smiled, sad. I know, but someone else might. The threat came from the Scorpion stars. Old generals never forgot the insult of the silent retreat. They built a secret armada, shadow ships, cloaked in stolen tech. Their plan, steal the girl, force Earth to speak, break the silence with fire. Spies whispered in dark ports. Cree heard the rumors. She doubled patrols. Luna sensed the danger. They come, she said one night, eyes fixed on nothing. 3 ships, fast, angry. Cree set a trap. She sent Quiet Path alone toward an empty nebula. Lights dim, bait. Luna stayed aboard, hidden in the core. The Scorpion ship struck at midnight. Cloaks dropped, lasers hot. Quiet Path rolled, shields flaring. Cree fought hard, but 3 against 1 was death. Then the stars went dark. Every screen on every Scorpion ship filled with the old human face. The voice spoke, calm, final. You were warned. Engines died. Weapons froze. The attackers drifted helpless. From the moon, a single black dreadnought rose. No sound, no light, just motion. It stopped between the enemies and Quiet Path. One pulse of red. The Scorpion ships vanished, folded into nothing, not destroyed, simply gone. Luna stepped onto the bridge. They are sent home, with memories. Cree stared. You called them? Luna shook her head. The Guardian watches always. It protects the promise. Peace returned, uneasy but real. The Council executed the Scorpion generals. New laws carved in stone. Touch the girl, lose your stars. Luna finished her tour. She saw nebulae birth stars. She tasted alien rains. She learned songs in 100 tongues. On her 16th birthday, she stood with Cree on the observation deck. Earth filled the window, blue and quiet. I am ready, Luna said. Cree flew her alone. No fleet, no guns. Quiet Path slipped past Mars, past the asteroid belt, into the silent embrace. The moon door opened. The black ship waited. Luna hugged Cree hard. Thank you for the stars. She stepped into the pod. The door closed. The moon swallowed her whole. Cree flew home empty-handed. The galaxy exhaled. Children told new stories. The girl who walked among aliens and returned untouched. The Guardian slept again. Earth turned under patient skies. But Cree kept one secret. In her cabin, hidden behind a panel, lay a second silver paper. Luna had pressed it into her claw at the last second. Words glowed soft. We are not gone. We are waiting. When the galaxy is ready, we will wake together. Cree touched the words each night. They stayed warm. Somewhere deep under blue oceans, glass pods glowed softer. The heartbeat slowed to a whisper. The silence grew full, heavy with promise. And the stars listened. Centuries rolled on like quiet waves. The girl named Luna became legend. Statues of her stood in alien squares. Human child, arms open to stars, eyes full of trust. The silent zone grew wider. No ship dared the line. Trade routes curved around the sun like frightened rivers. Cree died old, silver scales dull. The secret paper locked in a box no one opened. Her crew scattered. Stories faded to dust. Then the stars began to vanish. One by one, distant suns winked out. Not explosions, not black holes, just gone. Telescopes caught the last light, then nothing. Panic crawled through the galaxy. The council met in emergency. Old records dusted off. The dawn whisper logs, the silver papers, the warning. A young admiral, great-grandchild of the crab general, slammed the table. Earth does this, others shouted him down. They sleep. They promised peace. But the vanishings marched closer. A colony on Proxima's edge sent one final scream. Black wall rising. Then silence. Scopes showed a perfect circle of night where stars had been. Smooth, clean, like a curtain drawn. In the council vault, an archivist found Cree's box. The lock clicked open. Inside, the silver paper, still warm. The words glowed brighter. We are not gone. We are waiting. When the galaxy is ready, we will wake together. Below the message, new words had burned in while no one watched. It is time. The archivist ran. The council stared. Fear tasted metallic. They voted one ship, one crew, one chance. They chose the newest captain, Cree's great-grandniece, scales bright green like the lieutenant long ago. Her name was Sarah. She took the final whisper, fastest ship ever built, no weapons, only engines and hope. Course, straight to Earth. The journey took 40 days. Each day another star died. The black curtain grew. When final whisper crossed the old line, the moon waited. The hidden door stood open. No guardian, no fleet, just a soft red light pulsing inside. Slow, patient, welcoming. Sarah landed alone. The crater floor was smooth glass. A path of gold light led down. She walked. The air smelled of oceans and pine. At the bottom, a single room, white walls, one chair. On the chair sat Luna, older now, hair silver, eyes still blue oceans. She stood. You came. Sarah's voice cracked. Stars are dying. Luna nodded. We know. She touched the wall. It became a window. Outside, the black curtain edged sharp as a blade eating light. This is the veil, Luna said. We built it long ago. When we slept, it grew slow. Now it grows fast. Sarah stepped closer. Why? Luna turned. Because the galaxy forgot the lesson. Noise returned. Wars, greed, lies. The Guardian woke us. Sarah looked past the window. Deep tunnels opened. Glass pods cracked like eggs. Humans stepped out. Millions, billions, eyes blinking at new light. They wore simple clothes. No armor, no fear. Children laughed. Old men cried. A woman with Luna's face, her mother, hugged her tight. The Guardian stood behind them, metal giant, red eyes soft. Luna took Sarah's claw. We do not want to rule. We want to live. But the veil keeps growing until the noise stops. Sarah swallowed. How do we stop it? Luna smiled, sad and kind. You already did. You came alone. You asked. That is the first quiet in 500 years. She led Sarah to a console of black glass. One button. One word. Pause. Luna's hand hovered. Press it and the veil stops. Stars return. We wake fully. We join you. But the silence must stay. No more wars near our sun. No more signals begging us to speak. We speak when we choose. Sarah stared at the button. And if I say no? Luna's eyes darkened. The veil finishes its meal. New stars will birth in time. Life begins again. Cleaner. Sarah thought of her Aunt Cree, of the silver paper, of the heartbeat that taught fear. She thought of children on dying worlds. She pressed the button. The veil froze. Light rushed back. Vanished stars blazed alive. Cheers echoed across the galaxy. Billions of voices Sarah would never hear. In the room, humans hugged aliens for the first time. Warm skin, cold scales, shared breath. The Guardian powered down, eyes dimming to sleep. Luna walked Sarah back to the ship. At the ramp, she pressed a new silver paper into the captain's claw. For your people, read it together. Sarah unfolded it under Earth's sun. We are awake, we are few, we bring no weapons, only stories. Teach us your quiet, we will teach you ours. Final whisper lifted off. Behind it, the moon door closed gentle. The black fleet stayed sleeping. Earth's oceans caught sunlight again. Cities rose from the deep, silver towers, green parks, human voices soft in wind. Sarah flew home. The galaxy waited, breathless. She landed on the council world. Crowds filled the sky. She held up the paper. Silence fell. She read every word. When she finished, no one spoke for a full minute. Then a child, an alien child, with crystal skin, stepped forward and took a human toddler's hand. They walked together into the light. The heartbeat never returned. Instead, soft music drifted from Earth. Simple songs, no words, carried on wind the galaxy finally learned to hear. Trade began again, slow and careful. Human ships, small, unarmed, visited alien ports. They brought seeds, stories, silence. Aliens visited Earth. They left weapons at the border. They learned to sit quiet under alien moons. Sarah kept the paper on her bridge. Some nights she touched the words. They stayed warm. In the quiet between stars, she sometimes heard Luna's voice, gentle as ever. Silence is not the end. It is the beginning we all share. And the galaxy, for the first time in forever, listened. Peace settled over the galaxy like fresh snow, soft, deep, and cold. Human ships, small, white, unarmed, drifted between stars with the slow grace of swans. Alien worlds opened their ports. Children of 100 races played in zero-gravity gardens while old enemies shared tea. The veil stayed frozen, a dark ring far beyond the rim, a reminder carved in missing light. Earth's songs, simple strings, soft drums, no words, played in every market, every ship, every quiet room. People learned to speak less and listen more. Sarah became the first ambassador. She lived half the year on the council world, half on Earth. Luna, now silver-haired but still young in the eyes, met her every time at the moon cradle. They walked the new surface cities together. Humans had built with wood and glass, not steel. Parks grew where oceans once hid secrets. The Guardian stood in the central square, metal skin polished, red eyes dark. A plaque at its feet read, "We watch so you can sleep." One spring morning, Luna took Sarah's claw. "Come, there is something you must see." They flew down in a glass pod deep under the Pacific. The old core city still glowed, but now it was a museum. Glass pods lined the walls, empty, clean, lit like stars. In the center stood a single active pod. Inside floated an old man, face calm, beard white as moon dust. Tubes of silver fed him dreams. Luna touched the glass. "This is the first. He pressed the button to start the sleep 500 years ago. His mind runs the Guardian. When he wakes, the long watch ends. Sarah stared. Why show me? Luna's voice dropped. Because someone must choose the day. They left the old man dreaming. On the ride up, Luna gave Sarah a new silver paper. Smaller, warmer. When the last war song dies, wake him. He will know the time. Sarah kept the paper in her pocket. Years passed. She grew old. Scales faded to pearl. Luna stayed the same. Human time moved different now, slow as tree rings. The galaxy changed. Weapons turned to plows. Armies became builders. Children born after the veil never learned the word enemy. Songs grew softer. Silence grew deeper. Then the crack appeared. A fringe world far past Rigel rediscovered an ancient weapon cache. Greed sparked. A new faction rose, young, loud, hungry. They called themselves the Echo. Their leader, a red-scaled warlord named Vax, preached one truth. Silence is surrender. They built black ships in secret. They sang war songs over open channels. The old fear returned like a cough in the night. Sarah heard the songs on her bridge. She was 90 now, slow but sharp. She called Luna. The moon door opened. Luna stepped out alone, no pod, no ship. She walked on vacuum as if it were grass. Sarah met her halfway. Two old friends in the dark between stars. They wake the noise, Sarah said. Luna nodded. We felt it. The Guardian stirs. She handed Sarah the final silver paper. It burned hot. The choice is yours, wake the first or let the veil finish. Sarah flew to the fringe alone. Final whisper, old, patched, faithful, carried her into echo space. Vax waited on a battleship of black iron. He laughed when the small white ship docked. One old lizard to stop a fleet. Sarah stepped aboard. No guards, no fear. She placed the silver paper on his war table. Vax read. His red scales paled. Lies. Sarah touched a control. Every screen on his ship filled with the veil. Closer now, edge sharp, eating a red giant sun in real time. The star screamed silent as it died. Vax's crew froze. Sarah spoke soft. This is what noise costs. One more war song and the curtain falls forever. Vax stared at the dying star. His claws shook. Behind him, a young engineer, human, born on a mixed colony, stepped forward. She took the warlord's microphone. She sang the Earth song, soft strings, no words. One by one, the crew joined. The war song died in their throats. Vax dropped to his knees. The black ships powered down. Sarah flew home. She went straight to the core. The old man still floated, peaceful. Luna waited. Is it time? Sarah asked. Luna smiled, eyes wet. Listen, the galaxy was quiet. No war channels, no battle drums. Only the Earth song everywhere, gentle as breath. Sarah placed her claw on the pod. The glass dissolved. The first opened his eyes, ancient, kind, full of stars. He stepped out slow. The Guardian in the square above opened its red eyes for the first time in centuries. It spoke with the old man's voice, soft across every speaker in the galaxy. The watch is over, thank you. The Guardian knelt. Metal joints creaked. It laid its weapon, a single silver rod, at the feet of a child, half human, half alien, scales and skin. The child picked it up, turned it to a plow. Humans and aliens stood together on Earth's new fields. The first walked among them, touching heads, blessing quiet. Luna took Sarah's arm. They watched the sun set over oceans that no longer hid cities. The veil dissolved like mist at dawn. Stars returned, more than before, brighter, newborn. That night, every child in the galaxy received a gift. A small silver paper, warm to touch. One line glowed. We are all awake now. Keep the silence golden. Sarah died the next spring, old and full of days. They buried her under a tree on Earth, roots drinking alien rain. Luna planted the first seed from Sarah's home world beside the grave. It grew fast, green leaves, silver bark. Children played in its shade, singing soft. The Guardian became a statue. The first became a teacher. The song stayed wordless. The silence stayed full. And the stars, for the first time in forever, shone without fear. The tree grew tall and silver, its leaves whispering in Earth's gentle wind. Children from every world climbed its branches, their laughter soft as falling petals. The first walked beneath it each dawn, white beard catching sunlight, eyes older than galaxies. He taught one lesson only: listen first, speak second. Silence third. The galaxy obeyed. Cities dimmed lights at night. Ships flew with engines hushed. Songs carried no drums, only breath. Luna never aged. She became the bridge, human heart, alien mind. She lived in a small house by the ocean, door always open. Visitors came, crystal singers, gas cloud poets, tentacled traders with gifts of quiet. They sat on her porch. They watched waves. They left lighter. One autumn evening, a child arrived alone. Half human, half scorpion, red scales mixed with soft skin. She carried a broken toy, black iron ship, wings snapped. Tears cut clean paths down her cheeks. Luna knelt. "What is your name?" The child whispered. "Echo." Luna's heart stilled. The old war name. She took the child inside. Echo told a story. On her fringe world, a few old soldiers kept the black ships hidden in caves. They taught hate in secret schools. They sang the war song at midnight. Echo's father led them. He said silence is a chain. Break it. The child ran away when they planned to fly again. She stole a pod, flew blind, followed the earth song home. Luna fed her warm milk and bread. The first came at moonrise. He touched Echo's broken toy. The iron melted, reshaped into a silver bird. Wings spread. It flew once around the room, then settled on the child's shoulder. "Fear flies," the first said. "Love stays." They kept Echo safe. Word spread slow. The galaxy held its breath. 3 nights later, the black ships came. They rose from the fringe caves, 10, 20, 50. Engines roared like old thunder. Vax lived again in his sun. Red scales brighter, hate sharper. He broadcast on every channel. Earth lied. Silence is death. We take our stars back. The ships burned toward the silent zone, weapons hot. Luna stood on her porch. The silver bird flew to the sky. It grew, wings wide as moons, eyes red as the Guardian once was. The first raised one hand. The Guardian statue in the square opened its eyes. Metal joints sang. It stepped forward, tall as mountains, voice calm across the void. You were warned. The black ships fired. Lasers cut night. The Guardian raised its silver rod, now a staff, not a weapon. Light answered light, not destruction. Reflection. Every beam turned back, gentle, warm. The black ship's shields glowed soft. Engines slowed. Crews inside saw memories. Children playing, stars birthing the day the veil froze. Tears came unbidden. Vax's son stood on his bridge, claws white on controls. The silver bird landed before him. It spoke with Echo's voice and father. Come home. The warlord looked into the bird's eyes, his daughter's eyes. Something broke inside. He killed the engines. The fleet followed. They landed on Earth at dawn. No guards, no chains. Only the first waiting on the beach, arms open. Vax's son stepped down, scales dull with shame. The first hugged him like a child. Welcome to the quiet. The black ships became schools. Iron melted into bells that rang soft at sunset. The war song died forever. Echo ran to her father. They cried together under the silver tree. Luna planted a new seed beside the grave of Sarah. It grew fast. Red leaves, black bark. Children called it the peace tree. Its fruit tasted of salt and stars. The first grew tired. One winter night he walked to the ocean. Luna followed. Waves lapped his feet. It is time, he said. She nodded. They stood together as the Guardian carried the old man to the core. The last glass pod opened. The first lay down, eyes closing slow. Thank you, he whispered. The pod sealed. Lights dimmed to dream. The Guardian returned to the square. It knelt again. This time it stayed stone. Spring came. Echo, now tall and strong, became the new teacher. She walked the galaxy with the silver bird on her shoulder. She taught the final lesson. Silence is not empty. It is the space where love grows. Luna sat on her porch each evening. The ocean sang. The silver tree glowed. Children brought her drawings, stars connected by quiet lines. She kept everyone. One night, the stars themselves seemed to lean closer. A new song rose, not from Earth, not from ships, but from everywhere. Wordless, perfect, the galaxy singing back. Luna smiled. She closed her eyes. When she opened them, the first stood beside her, young again, beard gone, eyes bright. He took her hand. Together they walked into the waves. The water closed soft. The porch light stayed on. The next morning, children found a final silver paper on the doorstep. One line glowed warm. We are the silence now. Keep it golden. The galaxy did.